Hello, Namaskar everyone. Welcome to Dhwani, which means sound in Hindi. We bring to you resonating sounds created by the actions of women innovators, leaders, experts, and entrepreneurs who are making a difference in their and others' lives. We share their stories to inspire and empower other women. Dhwani is an initiative of Innoberry, which is offering a platform for the women to voice their thoughts, struggles, challenges, achievements, highs and lows, and the journey that they have undertaken. I am Pooja Bhatia, a tech transfer, patent licensing, and intellectual property professional, and now your host for this show. Let's inspire and get inspired. Hi everyone. Today I'm back with two founders who have created TeamStrategize. Before I introduce them, let me tell you for today's session there's a twist. I'm not going to do any introductions. The founders are going to introduce themselves. But yes, I welcome both of them to this show. So the stage is open for your introduction now.
Good morning, Pooja. It's lovely being here in this platform and introducing ourselves. We are very new to the industry, though when it comes to an entrepreneurship industry, this ecosystem is very new. We are here to learn and we are here to impart what we have learned over the years through our exposures. My name is Mona Lisa. I have worked extensively in education industry over the year. My exposure in the education is limited itself to the British organizations, but the audience have been always the Indian setup. I have learned over the years how to launch institutes, how to network in the industry, and of course help students get what they look forward to in the industry. So when I started off my career, I started off with a consulting firm wherein I got an opportunity to connect with the best of the best industry, and I was helping them identify talent for their projects. Over the period of time, I joined an education institute called Begin and Lay College, wherein we handled design, fashion, media, and management. We met a lot of school students at that point of time who did not know what to do. Someone who is 18-year-old, it becomes very difficult for them to decide what they want to do. They were always been pushed to do something like medicine or engineering, which is the backbone of the Indian parent mindset. It starts with medicine, ends with engineering. It was initially a little huddle because that's what we have been also brought up, but Begin and Lay gave us this opportunity to tell students that there is a life beyond science and medicine. And a lot of people have really done wonders when they shifted from the base in institute and then decided to go for they explore the other areas. Then I worked with RICS, which is again a super brand. They are into standard setting. They work across the globe, catering their skills and exposure for the built environment sector. I was instrumental in helping them start their first school in India. They are a 150-year-old, always decided to enter the business, but didn't know where to start. So we thought India being a market which is open to opportunity to connect with the like-minded. I worked extensively with students. I learned a lot of things from them. And that is where we all have connected back, and I'm trying to help those students who probably have an idea or they want to do something but really don't know where to start. And that's where all of us are here together to talk about our new initiative.
Thanks a lot for the introduction.
Thank you.
Hello, Pooja. Thank you, first of all, to giving us this opportunity. To introduce myself, I would say that I am somebody who is passionate about handling youngsters. And through the years, that's the opportunity that I have got from in my professional life. I have been in the education industry for more than 25 years. And, since childhood, I had thought of being in education, but without being a teacher. So, and something other than just teaching students. So, and this wonderful opportunity had come my way where I did everything else but just teaching, which I did eventually at the end of my, stint with the organization. But had this, experience of bringing an institution in the country, and then our country did not have private education as such. It was all, so government colleges, government based at that level after +2. So till the school level, there were private schools, but after the school level, there were no private education. And computer education was just starting off with NIITs and aptechs of the world, bringing in private education. But we were, as beginnerly college, one of the first ones to bring in management education, and thereafter creatives in terms of fashion, design, and media, wherein after 10+2, youngsters had the opportunity to do something different other than a typical graduation, maybe alongside or only that. And I was involved in bringing the brand in, then gradually became the custodian of that brand, promote it across the country. So branding became one of the areas that I focused on. And of course, student handling, academics, when an organization or an institution starts off. So from the start point of putting policies in place, SOPs in place, to faculty and training and ensuring that the students get the best education, to their industry interface. Then we also brought in something which was a traineeship program where, and there I must mention that Mona Lisa and I worked together in that organization. And traineeship is something that Mona can also very proudly say was very, intricately involved in, even to start with, because that was something pioneering as far as the industry goes, where the students would work alongside their course and get on-the-job training while, so it wasn't a 4-week, 6-week summer project or summer internship like we were all used to in the past. Yes. So we brought in something that did it continuously through the program. And the assessment of what they were doing in the industry was part of their basic academic, assessments. So that gave us a huge, impetus in terms of our networking with the industry, opportunity to counsel, mentor, and prepare students to face the industry, So that's briefly what my experience has been, apart from obviously operations and administration, finance, and all that stuff, because I ended up heading the organization. But this bit of it, I think, is what now, has sort of brought us together to say, let's do something again with these young people and be of help. So our, starting of TeamStrategize is also a part of what we experienced while we did that. So that's briefly what.
I actually wanted to know about it, that, what prompted you in creating TeamStrategize. What I could understand from both of your introduction is, one, the love for education, yes, bringing in a change. And then the third reason that I could identify is that, both of you have worked together. So there was already a level of comfort, or, you knew how to work together. So that was something that would have also contributed in creating TeamStrategize. But there must be some other reason also that, brought you 3 co-founders together. The other one being a male, so we didn't invite him. Please convey my sorry, apologize from my side that we couldn't invite him, because this is a completely women's show. But yes, you could share from his side. Then what was the reason that brought 3 of you together to create TeamStrategize?
Very, I had been sort of in conversation with Mona Lisa that let's do something together, let's do something of our own, which helps us focus on the areas that we are interested in. And Vishwarup is also a common friend. So he also came in, and with his huge network again, and his experience of handling startups. So that's how we got together. And here I must mention the, our thought process on even coining the name of the organization that we now run in terms of TeamStrategize. Strategize is because we have been doing that over the years, so that comes naturally. But team is something that, all three of us sat together and worked towards, especially Mona and I. We thought, see, education has to be part of whatever we do, because that's our, has been our bread and butter.
One
And that's
passion.
what. Absolutely, absolutely. And there we thought that, working with young professionals, talent is something that has to feature, Then we
Mhm.
thought of how to involve them. So the word talent came in. Education was anyway there. Like I said, that I had been handling at branding in a big way for that institution. So therefore, advertising also has been a passion. And both of us have worked with students, so and also recruitment, handling people, teams. So there something to do with HR and something to do with training also came up to our mind. And while we were discussing all this, we suddenly thought of this acronym came across, which is TEAM, which really sort of explains us in an excellent, detailed manner. We don't have to tell the moment we talk about talent, education, advertising, and Mindspace. I think it tells it all as to what we do and what we are passionate about.
So
That's how
if I
the
kind
name
of
came.
break up the name of TeamStrategize, it would be talent, education, advertising, and
Space.
Mindspace
Yes, yes,
strategize,
yes,
right? So you are
yes.
strategizing all four different components which are essential both to an individual as well as a startup.
Yes. Would you have to also just see, when we talk of team, it's basically in an English, it's a group of people with shared knowledge and experience working together. Now,
Yeah,
all
that was
obviously,
my first thought, that
yes,
it's coming together of people. That is why it is called as team. But now that you have broken it down and told me that it's more of an acronym, it has a dual meaning. So it makes Team Strategize name really, really interesting, and signifies the passion that both three of you are getting together in Team Strategize. So
it's
what
like
kind?
set of people identifying talent, educating them, then creating a brand out of them, and then also ensuring that they have their mindset, their behavioral training also been done simultaneously, because it's an end-to-end solution. You can identify, but there are other things that need to look into before the person goes out in the market, because that's what we're looking at, helping a set of people. So we came from education, we saw a set of people who need guidance, we are going back to them. We are strategizing an end-to-end solution for another set of people who are skilled but probably don't have the kind of resource or expertise that is required.
Yeah, and that is very essential, right? If you don't have an end-to-end solution, it's not going to really help anyone. But are there any new initiatives that you are planning or you're already working on? Since you have mentioned that you want to help, so are there any initiatives that are planned or are already in force?
We rolled out one initiative, because, again, going back to Ms. Sengupta's word, we come from education. We have seen talents, and over the period of time, we also learned that they need a proper guidance. So when we were working with Team Strategize, and of course we also connected with you, Learn, and we also come with Vishwaroop's exposure from the institutes, especially from IIT and ITTO. We've learned that there are students, and though they come from a pedigreed institute, they have all kinds of resources. But there are other set of people who don't have these kinds of resources, which is required to enter an ecosystem. So we were looking at the startup ecosystem, and we realized, okay, that's something we can also get into, but we will only look at people who don't have the access to enter the system. So we came up with a initiative called investing in talent. So TS will invest in talent right now. So
Mhm.
before we invest, we also identify, and we looked at Northeast as one of the area to invest our effort as well. Not only invest in talent, but we'll be always spending our time and our effort. So we will be looking at students from Northeast area who do have ideas, who know what they want, but a kind of guidance, or probably I would rather say a little push to help them enter the sector. So we will identify, again, we invest time and effort, and we invest our knowledge there and skill there to those students who probably will be a better fitment in the industry at later stages, or someone who's aspiring to enter the industry. Over the year, we both have realized students are very smart. They're smarter than us. But at time, depending on the location and the mindset of that location, it is imbibed in them that you have to do a certain job or certain qualification, because there's other things which are not meant for you. You can't take that risk. Or I as a student, when I was a student also, I probably had a lot of ideas, but I was so scared to tell people. I'm going back to the same stage today. The only thing is they are tech savvy, they're technically better than us, they
Yeah.
have all the information at their fingertip, but they still lack the confidence of going and telling someone, I want to do this. That's where we come into. So, investing in talent, we'll focus on those set of students who have ideas, and we will help them incorporate those ideas into a full business plan and then help them enter the sector. And I'm sure Ms. Singupta has something else also to add on with our plans.
I guess Mona Lisa has sort of encapsulated it quite well. But our experience of handling young people have taught us or have given us the idea of where exactly the help that they need and where they are unable to express themselves or give a structure to their ideas and their plans. At that point, helping people at those times when we were handling students, the ecosystem of startups or the other push as far as young entrepreneurs are concerned were not there. So the ideas would just come and fizzle out. Whereas right now, the entire universe is also trying to sort of conducive in terms of helping them, in terms of allowing them to do something that they would wish to. So a little push from people like us, I guess, is going to make a lot of difference to such people. Well, and our experience and the network that we bring in also brings in the other support. So that's the addition.
Yeah, and moreover, we also got the little push, right? That is why we have started as entrepreneurs. If we didn't get the push, we wouldn't have also started. So the push or the nudge is very, very essential. Sometimes you need that push to get into where you want to. But Ms. Sengupta, I would like to know that, since you have been into education, what skills do you think are very essential for an entrepreneur? Does he or she need to acquire those skills before they become an entrepreneur? Or is it something that they can pick along the journey?
I think one is, yes, some things you bring on table when you decide to become an entrepreneur, but developing those skills is what you actually pick up while the basics should be with you, but you keep picking up and sort of getting better at those skills while you are undertaking your journey as an entrepreneur. But again, coming from the line of education, to me, the most important thing that an entrepreneur requires is the ability to constantly learn.
Learn and unlearn.
Learn and unlearn. That ability to learn and unlearn is something which is absolutely mandatory, and yet be as flexible as possible in terms of your ideas, in terms of, that makes you adaptable because the environment is constantly changing. So you need to be flexible to be able to adapt quickly the changes that are there around you. So flexibility, and a very basic is communication. Unless and until you are able to communicate your ideas or what you want to do, or whether for the business or for yourself or whatever. So communication is a very, very basic thing that everybody would need, an entrepreneur especially, because to start you need to communicate yourself. Unless you are able to do that, you are not able to succeed. Then maybe the ability to prioritize things. A lot of when you are starting off something, hundreds of ideas and hundreds of thoughts and hundreds of advices come your way. Yes.
And you would be the only one wearing so many hats, and you have to manage them.
Absolutely. So prioritizing is something that you need to learn and be focused on. I guess I was reading an article the other day which says the startups fail. Majority of the startup, the reason for failure is not able to keep prioritizing the things you would want to do. You keep getting distracted from here to there, and that you lose focus on. And be structured and consistent, I would say. You have to be consistently doing things that you are supposed to do. And like, again, new ideas and new advices will keep coming to you. But the
You
moment
have to
you
stick to
lose
your
your
path and keep your
absolutely,
focus.
you have to have your focus and be consistent in what you do. So that I think are the five more critical, apart from of course risk-taking ability and confidence and all that stuff is a given to start off something. But otherwise, these are in terms of business, these are some things which you need to focus on.
And I also, they shouldn't, because time is the essence. You have to do the thing at the right time. Also, you break down your plan in small parts. I mean, there are time when a big or startup wants to do everything at one shot. So instead of doing everything at one shot, if you can break down the work in smaller parts and ensure that it is done on a regular basis, you finish one task and go for the next task, you'll be able to achieve your success on a faster note. And most importantly, two paradoxical thing here. One, you need to grow thick skin, and second, you should also be open to critics, because you may find a lot of critics. They may give you encouraging word, but they'll also add on something which you may not like. So you have to pick the good things and have thick skin, so which you know that there are things which you don't want to, which discourages you, you leave them behind. Once you have a positive approach, things will work out. Even a bad situation, if you know it's a positive thing, I know I'll be able to do it. I can, that word itself one needs to remember every now and then. It is possible.
Stick it everywhere. Stick it on your laptop. I can do it.
I teach our kids, say I can do it.
Yeah. So, Vanessa, what are the tools that you use to, manage the day-to-day affair? Being a founder and an entrepreneur yourself, share your
I
secrets.
I'm someone who used both the old school method and the new era tools. So I'll go back to my WLC day when Mr. Pastrija, who was the boss, and with ma'am's guidance, the first thing he told me, and that's something I still practices on a regular basis, you write down what you are supposed to do every morning. Make a note of it. There may be 100 of things, but always remember, once you have finished it, just tick it. So you know that back of your mind, your work are getting finished, and ensure by the time you finishes your day, all those ticks mark are done. That's a basic thing which has been taught. Though a lot of people, we have a lot of gadgets today, a lot of apps today which reminds you, but still that diary helps me, because I can go back to that diary, I can flip my pages and see, okay, this is something I did and this something worked really wonders. But then when we talk of tools and all which really works, a Zoho calendar really works for me here. That one thing, I mean, even if I forget, that calendar will never let me forget that there are 10 different things and it keeps on popping. And some of the tools which worked wonder for me is also Google Calendar, because they are synonyms. Some of my devices works on Google Calendar, some of them works on Zoho Calendar. So I keep making notes here and there, because I remember, wherever I remember, I just make a note on it and then it keeps popping. Entire day I know what I'm supposed to do. And there are colleagues and my partners who will also ensure that there are things which you need to do and finish it on time. But again, you have kids around, you have youngster around. So when you talk to a startup, or you're talking to someone who is probably an engineering student or a commerce student, and they use a lot of other tools, they come back and tell us, why don't you use this? For us, we are old school, kind of fossil for them, but then we are learning. Okay, help me learn this thing. It takes time, but I still prefer that diary of mine. It's been doing wonders over the year. And I have a collection of, with approximately 20 years, I probably have a collection of 20 diaries right now.
Wow.
Going back to all the details which I've put in there, or what I've learned over the years. So that's something which is working for me right now.
So, are there anything in particular, that things that you both adopted for Team Strategize and that have worked, and those are the things that the other founders could also adopt while starting their journey and would make their life easier?
I think we have tried to be focused. Every time any one of us thought of something beyond what we wanted to do, the other person brought, like
Keeps
Mona
in
Lisa would say,
focus.
yes, it keeps reminding that, look, we started off with this, let's stick to this, and let's not sort of, get distracted or try to do too many things and not, focus or specialize in any one. That's one thing. And I think being patient is important. Things will not happen. There's no magic. When you start off, you need to work consistently and be patient for the results to come in, and you have to keep trying. So I guess that's also something which both of us would give a credit to, that keep doing things that you think are correct. Learn, like Mona Lisa said, that there is people where you keep picking up things from. So keep picking them up, trying. If it doesn't work the first time, it will work the second time. Like, there is no shortcut to hard work and sincere work. So that's something, and don't give it up. It's very easy giving up for a startup, because when I'm saying that be patient and keep doing it, means that it doesn't happen the first day, right? So, or the first month, or even the first, quarter or 6 months, whatever. If it doesn't, don't give it up. Be at it.
And that's the biggest challenge, right? Being patient and not giving up.
Absolutely.
And also, I believe all the founders should join some support group or a group which they are comfortable, and they can share their ideas and learn from each other. Because what happens at time, as a founder, we are so scared that we don't want to talk about all our plans and other things. We don't have to. But when you have like-minded people in a group, they may not be founders, they may be doing something else. They may support you. They give you ideas. So when we started off, three of us, we come from different background. Though me and ma'am has worked over the years, so our network and our set of friends are common in certain cases. We know the same set of students, we know the same set of industry people. With Vishnu coming into picture, he comes with own set of network. So over the year, in the last 2 years, we met probably thousands of people with whom we discussed and we asked their suggestions, and we're still connected with them on a regular basis. We learn from them, and we also tell them to share happenings which is going on in the ecosystem, and we try to imbibe them if that works in our scenario.
Yeah, that is a very essential point, that, one, you should be willing to receive the feedback, and it's up to you whether you want to use it or adopt it or not. But always keep your ears open. You might get an idea somewhere. So thank you so much, Ms. Sengupta and Ms. Mona Lisa, for joining us today. And I really enjoyed the conversation, and I look forward to connecting again with both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us here. It's lovely talking to you.